Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back for our shop tour. Here we are in August. First full week in August, August 7th. So as you know, last week I was gone. I made it back. Went to Sturgis, rode up there with some buddies. Highly recommend. Super fun. I don't know that I'd want to be there like right now today when the main part of the rally's going on. I mean, there was probably, I don't know how many thousands of people and bikes and everything, but really good weather to ride up there, really good weather to come back in the shop, back to work. So shop tour time, 2 weeks later. Finished up Ken's engine, Ken Kennard's number 2 engine. So it is not on the bench anymore. What I'm getting into now that you guys are just catching me in the middle of is the ND2s. Remember the two ND2s that came in from McCumbee McAleer for their track day guys. Everything is ready to go. I'm just getting everything final cleaned and ready. You can see the blocks are clean, the head's clean, getting everything laid out like I always do. So next up, I'm gonna get these ND2s out of here because I got to get right back to the runoffs engines. So kind of a shame I have to plug these in between because I really need to be working on runoffs motors. But these actually are quite simple compared to a full-blown race engine. It's more of a balance and blueprint is what we're doing on these to make them just a little bit better. So when you're at the track day with your buddy with his ND2 and you've got that extra 5 horsepower, you can pass him on the straights. Whatever. Okay, so was just getting ready to, and actually this morning I just put Ken's second engine into his engine crate. So once again, a really nice engine crate with a really nice mounting system. We will transport the engine up to the runoffs as the spare. We'll just get the lid on, get it all battened down. You can see it's all taped off, sealed up. Really happy with the way this all turns out. We're looking good, Ken. And have a good time on your vacation. Did get, and this is an old girl of mine here. So originally built this car for Bob Shader, and this has got to be going back, gosh, when did we build this car? I don't have the, probably 2018, 17, 18, something like that. Bob Shader originally had me build it for him, and he ran it for a little bit. It went off to another guy, came back, then another guy had it, and then I owned it for a little while, and now Steve Johnson owns it. And if you recognize this car from the June Sprints, that's because this car with Steve Johnson, the current owner, actually won the June Sprints. So the car is here for a corner weight and alignment setup pre-runoffs, which I've already completed. So just waiting for him to pick it up. He needs to do his prep, get it all cleaned up, change all of his fluids and all that. He does that himself. But the car is now even better than it was at the Sprints. So really excited for him to go to the runoff, see what we can do with the Z car. This is really one of my favorite cars, and I think it's a great car for the class, and it's built very well. So we're just going to kind of roll through the shop. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth. Waiting on, what were we waiting on Ken's? Look at this, a new axle. So we got our brand new axle, and look at this. The joints are actually nice and free, and we don't have a bunged up section. And my junk guy got the old one. He picked it up already. So, and get the axle into the car. And I'm actually, once I get the ND2s done, I'm going to jump on this really quick because what I want to do is I want to get the axle in, get the fluids in. I want to get this thing running. I want to get through the first break-in phase, which means 2,000 RPMs, bleed the cooling system. Just kind of get the rings initially seated, and then after that it's time for corner weight and alignment, final prep on the car, and then we'll get on the dyno. So we're looking really good. It's only the beginning of August, so Ken's car is looking really good. Another car that's looking really good, and when I rolled it out of the trailer, you know, it's been a while since it's rolled out of the trailer this clean, but Steve's Camaro, they went up to Brainerd, ran every lap of every session, and the car came back in perfect condition. So I've got it unloaded out of the trailer. You can see my Go Jacks here is what I use to kind of whip this thing around because it's so big. But I just need to get it up, change the oil, check the valve lash, do a full nut and bolt check on it. And I think his plan is now either High Plains in a couple weeks or Eagles Canyon, one or the other. I know he's got a trip he's going on, so super excited about that. In the next couple of weeks, John will finish the flags on the side, especially now that we've made it through a weekend and we don't have any damage to fix. So really excited about that. He reported the car was awesome. Everything was good. The car's better than the driver. That's what I always want to hear. Rocketeer, quick Rocketeer update. And I'm sure you guys watched the pulling of the engine, which was kind of a quick video. But I did end up getting a little bit of time last week and dropped the subframe out, got the suspension off of the old subframe, because the new kit will come with a new subframe and we'll be cleaning everything up and dropping all that in. Did pick up, and actually Steve picked it up when he was up in Brainerd, this used convertible top. Now I haven't pulled it out of here yet, and I know that you watch these, Jeff. I'm going to get it out, open it up, see what I think. I'm assuming, since we talked about it, you think it's good enough for this car, but I just haven't gotten to taking it out yet. But I'll be in touch and I'll let you know what I think, and we'll go from there. Either way, if it's not quite good enough, I'll still buy it, and I'll put it on a Miata that's maybe not as perfect as this one. So we'll see how that goes. So kind of whittled a couple of engines down into the dyno bay, because don't do a lot of dynoing in the summer just because it's so hot. But something I did this year that I've always said I'm going to do, and I always seem to wait, but I actually did it. Runoffs tires in stock. So for those of you that have been running the runoffs long enough, you know that the closer we get to the runoffs, the higher the demand for tires becomes. And what I have found over the years is if you wait too long, sometimes it's very last minute. And honestly, I mean, race tires are one of the absolute most important parts of your program. So if you're going to the runoffs and you're going to get tires, I would suggest you either A, reserve them early, which if those of you Hoosier guys out there probably got that email, I know I got mine last week about reservations for the runoffs, or if you do what I do, which is mount my own stuff, get them now. Just get them now. They're not going to age in the next 7 weeks, you know. You're going to be just fine. Go ahead and order them up. So we got a new set of reins, which my rain tires actually had quite a bit of time on them, and a couple of sets of slicks, and that's going to do me for the runoffs. Now, one bit of information I did get this week, which is a little depressing, and I need to kind of figure out what I'm going to do about. Remember how we were talking about valves for the Mazda 2? Now they're telling me August 20th before they come in. So that puts me at probably August 25th. Let's just call it the end of this month before I have valves in my hands. So it still leaves me, you know, almost a month, you know, to get it all together and get it in the car and get it running and get it going. Whenever a manufacturer tells you it's going to be 3 months, just plan on 1.5, so 5 months. So ordered these in March. I actually looked up my invoice the other day. March 11th, ordered custom valves. They will be here hopefully September 1st. To me, it's a little unacceptable, and I almost told them to keep them the other day, but I also paid for half of them too. So not everybody can provide you everything that you want at all times, especially when you're doing one-off stuff. But, okay, not to be too negative Nancy here. Something I did get done. Pretty exciting stuff. New brake shoes installed, ready to go. So you saw that I was changing the brake shoes out. Tip of the day, when you're doing drums, you know, you have an adjuster in the back, and what that does is that keeps, in a factory setting, it'll do two things. It'll keep your emergency brake to where it's good and snug, to where when you pull the e-brake it doesn't go all the way up to the moon. But the other thing it does is it keeps your brake pedal a little snugger towards the top, because when you hit on the brakes, there's not so much distance between your shoes and the drum to push out. So I try and get them to where they're just right there. So you can see it's basically got no drag, but believe me, they are right there. Stick your head inside. This car actually has an e-brake on it. So I've got this adjusted to where it's right there. So The e-brake works good, but when you pull it off, the last thing you want to see back here is drag. That's what we want to see. Tip of the day, look at that, drum brake 101. When did they first invent drum brakes? Probably back in the 20s, who knows? We're still using them. They actually work really good on a front wheel drive car because most of the weight is up front. You'll see a lot of front wheel drive cars, especially on trailing in, lift a tire and drag a tire, and you can flat spot really easily. I have found that the drums work great, especially on this light little cutie car. And so we're looking really good. So I got that done. A couple more pieces cleaned. I'm going to move on to a couple of other things while I'm waiting on valves, but never in my mind did I think I'd be waiting on valves quite this long. But I think I'm going to hold out. I think it's going to be worth it. Proper racing valves versus stock valves. So I'm going to do it. I just decided with you guys that I'm going to wait. So last minute decision, if I have to put in the stock valves, I will. It's not the end of the world. So I know it's a bit of a long shop tour this time, guys, but it's been a couple weeks. So I appreciate you watching as always. We're going to be rocking and rolling through motors here in the next week or so. So hang in there. Have a good rest of your week. Stay cool. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.